Hi ladies, so in this final video, I would like to look at domain and range via a scenario. So I gave you a table. So in this table, we're modeling weeks and the amount of money somebody has left. So maybe this person was given a certain amount of money and they are allowed to spend it while they were at school or maybe like after school. I don't know. Whatever your scenario is, go for it. So if you notice, this person's money is decreasing, right? And one of the things that I might need to write this equation might be to find out what the rate in which this is decreasing. So it looks like this person is spending money at a rate of $25 each week, right? So down by 25 for every one. And I'm going to label that as my slope, down by 25 for every 1 week. Or we could just say down 25, right? The other thing I'm going to need to know is what is my initial value? And I can do this a number of ways, but the strategy I'm going to choose to use right now is actually to use a graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to model this data on a graph. So I have 0. Because my money seems to be in $25 intervals, I'm going to go up by 25s on this graph. So we have 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, and 150. And then my weeks I'm going to put on the bottom. Let's actually write down dollars, money, money, money. All right, down here I'm going to call this weeks. And we have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6. And I just arbitrarily pick some numbers, making sure I can include the values that are on my table. So at 1, I'm at 100. At 2, I'm at 75. At 3, I'm at 50. At 4, I'm at 25. So I can make some inferences based on my graph. Looking at the pattern, I would assume that this person started off with $125, and then after 5 weeks, they're going to have no money left. So even though my data doesn't give me all the information, I can make some inferences about the piece before and the piece after based on the data I'm given. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to write an equation. So I have a table. I wonder what the equation is. Well, our equation is always going to be in the format of a rate times x plus our initial value. Now, sometimes if it is decreasing, we talk about it in the format of an initial value minus our rate per x. All right, and because this is a decreasing situation, I'm going to actually use this format, right? So if this trend were perfect, it seems like he would have started off with $125. So when I go to write my equation, it should be y equals 125 minus, and he's spending at a rate of $25 each week, so minus $25 each week. Pretty simple. Now, domain and range. Don't be scared of it. Domain is just talking about what are the possible x values, right? What can I calculate in this equation? If I try to put in 6 weeks, I'm not gonna be able to do it because he has no money left. Like, this is the end of the scenario. After 5 weeks, he has no more money left, all right? So my domain is looking at all of my x values between 0 and 5. Like, I could figure out, or I know how much money he has after 1 week, how much money he has after 2 weeks. I can even figure out what he has when he first starts. But after 5 weeks, he runs out of money. So my domain has to be between 0 and 5. But the key thing is that you're counting up his money at the end of the week. So it only happens at these specific points. Therefore, I have to say 4 whole numbers. And in terms of my range, I could have anything from $0 all the way up to $125, but nothing more, right? He never had more money if that trend was correct. He only had $125. So my range is everything between 0 and 125. And key part here is that he seems to be spending at a rate of $25 per week. So we have to state increments of 25. Otherwise, we're including too much data. He only is looking at increments of 25, so that's why we have to include that. It's none of the values between. All right, so domain and range are really just descriptions of your data in terms of what you're inputting and in terms of what you're getting out. And these are the possible values. All right, I hope that helped a little bit, and good luck studying, girls.